Hi, thanks again for joining us tonight as we unveil another incredible collection from our Cincinnati warehouse showroom. I'm Palmer, the Marketing and Creative Director here at Everything But the House, and your host for the night. Talented members of the team, Jen, Kara, and Meredith, will be popping in to share background and context on many of the pieces featured in the sale. We want to hear from you guys, so make sure you're chatting us and telling us any questions or bringing up any items that you guys want to see. So be sure to chat, and we'll do our best to get to it. Tonight, we have an eclectic and stylish collection from a historic dairy farm in the rolling hills outside of New York City. The Leung-Weinstein Estate crossed two generations from well-traveled and creative family that called the city home for many years. Sam and Christine Weinstein poured their time and artistic talents into improving the 7-acre farm in Dutchess County for their own enjoyment and for future generations. Sam, a New Yorker through and through, was a photographer who captured many moments in history, including an image of campaigning Senator John F. Kennedy that can be found in the sale. Christine was an avid gardener and an amateur artist. They traveled together and as a family with their son Adam through Europe and South America, where they added to their collections, discovering paintings, ceramics, and jewelry in small shops and galleries. Adam Weinstein and his wife Mariana Leung enjoyed escaping their lives in the city to visit the farm over the years. When Sam and Christine passed, they inherited the estate and spent hours reconnecting with the property and its contents. Digging through the home was like exploring an emotional and enlightening time capsule. Adam and Mariana simply could not let go of the beautiful property. And after much deliberation, they decided to leave Manhattan to carry on the legacy of the farm that Sam and Christine loved so dearly. Adam and Mariana have named the property Wicked Fitch Farm, after the mischievous and beautiful goldfinches that entertain them in the sprawling gardens and landscaping Christine nurtured over the years. They look forward to continuing the restorations, injecting their own personalities, making products, and building experiences that will allow more people to enjoy the beauty and serenity of the farm. Adam and Mariana's journey to manage their parents' estate and the results of this sale will be featured in the upcoming TV series. So as we go, guys, chat and let us know if there's stuff you want to hear about. Let us know if we can bring anything out from the collection, and we'll do our best to get it going. So with that said, let's get it rolling. We're going to start with some artwork. It's actually some of Christine and Sam's favorite pieces from the collection, and I think Kara's going to come out and talk to us.
Well, Palmer, we have quite a collection of paintings by the Southern-based artist. His name is Richard Coe, and several of these are by him. And these were purchased by the Weinsteins from the artist's wife's estate. Sure. And Richard Coe was a regionalist painter and a WPA artist, making his work very desirable for collectors. He was actually the state director of arts project for Alabama for the Works Progress Administration.
So what makes him a regionalist?
Yeah, so he was very much a regionalist because he believed art was supposed to be something you could easily understand. Sure. Regionalism came during a period when modernism and abstraction and even more conceptual art was on the rise. You had Cubism and the Dada movement that were on the rise, and regionalists pushed away from this type of art because they thought it was too elitist and obscure. And they advocated for art that was more representational, sure, more figural and narrative, and because it was more accessible to everyday people. So I did
notice like most of these are portraits and figures. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Richard Coe actually said that if educated people can't understand a work of art from their time period, it's not a very good work of art.
So which pieces are like particularly of note?
Well, I love this piece. It's almost a half-length portrait of a seated woman, and it's a great example of his work because he believed painting should be pleasant to look at, and she certainly is. She's a beautiful, elegant woman. She appears extremely poised, and it's great because although it's, she's in period clothing, I find it a very timeless kind of composition. She has this classic three-quarter turn, sure, of her face with this delicate smile, and her face makes her very approachable. She's not too aggressive.
I feel like it's really flattering, like the lighting and how he cast the characters.
All of his works, I think, he presents his subjects in a very positive light. Whether or not, these portraits were commissioned, his subjects are portrayed with a lot of, just dignity and respect. I mean, you can look at this man here. He's very, very handsome, too.
Very cool. So is this piece behind me right here at the center, is this one of his as well?
Yes, and I'm glad you brought it up because it should be mentioned. It's absolutely stunning and skillfully rendered. It's a classic subject, being a painting of a nude woman. She stands in this very graceful contrapposto pose with the pop of her hip.
Sure, yeah.
You have her drapery delicately cascading to the floor and fanning out there. And then he has her looking away from the viewer, making her very non-confrontational and very just introspective in a way.
So, I mean, interestingly, I see this actually has 27 bids already, so people are taking notice, and it's a large piece.
Yeah, you can see why. And something particularly noteworthy about it is the scale, making the painting so large. You can see she would have such a presence in a home. With the more monumental scale and the fact that the painting is kind of long and narrow, as you see, it reminds me of some of John Singer Sargent's paintings of women that were very flattering and elegant.
Yeah. Very cool. So. Well, thank you. All right, I think we're going to switch. There's some really beautiful estate jewelry in here, and it features, and it looks like Jen's in heaven about ready to bring some of this over. I'm going to help them real quick. Bring this on in here to center.
Thanks, Palmer.
Absolutely.
Thanks, Meredith.
Thanks, Meredith. So pretty shiny stuff.
Well, actually, this is an incredible collection of jewelry, Palmer. It's just absolutely beautiful. And of course, what catches your eye first is this turquoise pouch. It's important to know.
Absolutely.
It really makes ladies happy when they see this turquoise blue pouch. So I'm going to put some gloves on so that we can really look at this this bracelet by Tiffany, which is pretty special.
Yeah.
And it is a canatile bracelet in 18 karat gold.
So I'm not familiar with the term canatile. What's that about?
Well, canatile actually refers to the art of using this 18 karat gold wire. And what they do is they coil it and they make these little rosettes. It's similar to filigree work, but it's much more dimensional, as you can see. Yeah. And Louis Comfort Tiffany really perfected this method of jewelry making, and the workmanship in this bracelet is just beautiful. Extraordinary. And this is definitely an heirloom-worthy bracelet.
For sure.
Yeah, it's pretty special.
Super interesting, and the techniques, that's super interesting. I've never heard of that. That's amazing. Yeah. So what else are we featuring here? What else do we got?
Well, what I'd really like to point out is this ring, because it's a little unusual.
Yeah.
It's by a designer that maybe a lot of people haven't heard about. It's a Greek designer. His name is Ilianis Lalounis. And he worked in 18 karat gold jewelry as well. And then the center stone is a sodalite. It's a cabochon sodalite center stone.
Okay. It looks like it's kind of like an ancient artifact a little bit. It seems like it's got some old character.
Well, that's an excellent observation, because that was very important to Ilianis Lalounis. He did. He was born in Greece in 1920. He was a third-generation goldsmith, and while Greece was in the grips of World War II, he took over his family's business and decided to use the ancient artifacts that he had seen in museums as his inspiration.
Very cool.
So he also adopted the traditional ways, like the canatile and filigree work and hand-hammered work that was, the more traditional methods of making jewelry, and I think it's really evident in this piece.
And so, keeping it in the family, has he passed his business down to his daughters?
Yes, he has. He has passed on his passion for jewelry to his 4 daughters, who now oversee his company, and they also oversee the Lalounis Jewelry Museum, which is located in Athens, really close to the Acropolis.
Very cool, very nice. That's awesome. And I see you snuck a little handbag onto our display as well. What's the connection? How does that fit in?
Of course. I'm always going to sneak in a little handbag. and I really like this one. And this is a good time to talk about it because it has a World War II connection as well.
Okay.
Judith Lieber was a survivor of World War II. She was actually born in Budapest, Hungary, and then went on to study chemistry for the cosmetic industry in London. When she returned, Hungary was, she was actually afforded an apprenticeship at a handbag company where she became a master craftswoman.
Okay.
So anyway, World War II ensued, and actually Judith's family barely escaped Nazi persecution. Her whole family fled to Switzerland, where they lived with 26 other people in a really small apartment.
Wow, there's some other connections here too, because Sam Weinstein was a World War II veteran. I think he served in Italy. And Mariana was she worked in fashion in New York and actually worked on the Judith Lieber label. So there's lots of connections happening.
Lots of connections, and that's interesting. Well, let's fast forward to 1946, when she married and she moved to New York City. And then let's fast forward even a little further to 1963, which is when she and her husband started her own handbag company, and they started it right in their little loft in New York City. Judith had her hand in the creation of every handbag, and then her husband handled the business end.
Nice. That's, I mean, an incredible story.
Yeah,
and
it really is.
perseverance there. So are Judith Lieber handbags collectible?
Actually, very collectible.
Okay.
I mean, her list of clients includes former first ladies, princesses, and absolutely a parade of celebrities. They all really enjoy her handbags. And what makes them special is they always have these little accessories inside that match the handbag. So you have a little coin purse that matches, and the little vanity mirror, and even a little comb with a tassel in their own little pouch. So those are just really fun little things about the bag. And her handbags are included in the permanent collection of the Victoria and Albert Museum in London, the Smithsonian in Washington, D.C., and also the Metropolitan Museum of Art in New York City.
Very cool.
So, and then also in 2011, the Liebers started buying back as many handbags as they could because they started their own museum in Springs, New York, which is where they lived. And we are very proud here at EBTH because she bought several of the handbags back from us. And they're included in her museum.
Nice. That's very cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you. Just a reminder, guys, as we kind of get this out of the way, let's make sure you chat, peek at the sale, chat us your questions and comments. And then we're going to move over here and talk about this black and white photo if you guys want to help kind of, I'll help slide this off.
There we go. Thank you.
All right, so Palmer, you mentioned this black and white photograph.
Yeah, sure.
This is actually by Sam Weinstein, and we'll come over here so they can get some good shots. He was, you mentioned a World War II veteran, but he was also a photographer, and he owns his own studio. Now, this photo was taken in 1960, and as you mentioned, it shows John F. Kennedy, and he was a senator at the time campaigning for his presidency at the Grand Concourse Plaza in the Bronx.
Okay, cool. So I noticed there's like several campaign photos, right? From the collection?
he took several of the campaign at this particular location, and there are also photos, if you look in the sale, of Bobby Kennedy and Eleanor Roosevelt at the campaign, and he was able to capture them because he lived very close to where this location was.
So you can kind of feel there's almost like a candid, like you can feel like the neighborhood as you see some of these pictures.
Yeah, as a photographer, Sam was interested in capturing these iconic moments in history and prominent figures in history. But these photos of Kennedy's campaign are great because they're very documentary-esque, and they're very candid, as you said. He really captures, I think, the excitement of the people at the time, and it was an exciting time.
Yeah.
Kennedy was a refreshing new candidate, and so many people were so enthusiastic about him and emotionally invested. But
I mean, it feels like you're like what a photojournalist is trying to capture. They feel very kind of real, and you can see the excitement in the moment in them.
Yeah, and actually what we're seeing in this particular photograph is the night before the election. So the next day it was the new president.
Oh, wow.
And all of their lives changed. So a really, really cool moment to capture.
Right, and this piece is currently at $100 and has 12 bids in on it already. So there's 6 days left on that. Thank you, Kara. We're going to transition over to some decor now. There's some great pieces in here, and it's kind of cool because there's a variety of styles and periods that are represented in the sale. And Meredith's going to bring on the Toledo chair, which is one of the more modern pieces.
Hi, Palmer.
Hi.
So this collection includes a set of 8 aluminum Toledo chairs by designer Jorge Pensi for Amat III. Pensi is regarded as one of Spain's leading designers. His foundation was in architecture prior to establishing his own design practice where he focused on both lighting and furniture. It wasn't until later that Pensi became widely known for his timeless chair designs. In the 1980s, he designed the Toledo chair for the Spanish manufacturer Amat III, and they were later produced by Knoll. The Toledo chair has won multiple design awards and represents Pensi's overall design aesthetic.
So are these made just for outdoor or particularly for outdoor?
These chairs are especially great because of their versatility. They can be used both indoors and out, and actually this chair was originally designed to be used on the terrace of the street cafes in Barcelona. They're made of polished aluminum, and they're stackable, and they're marked to the underside that they're made in Spain. The Toledo chairs have been featured in many museums and design collections and are certified for sustainability, which I love.
That's very cool. Yeah, they had these at the cafe at my design school, and I've always loved this chair. So very cool. There's 8 of these in the sale. What else do you want to share? I'm going to pass this off for you, and you can jump in.
I would love to tell you about this ceramic Italian head vase. This piece is special because it embodies Majolica pottery in that it features hand-painted bright colors throughout against an opaque white background. In Italy, this type of pottery was elevated to an art form. Noble and wealthy families commissioned these types of pieces, including dinner plates, platters, vases, and tiles that were all put to use and put on display. This piece is signed to the underside by the artist.
Take your word for it. I won't make you pick it up.
It's super heavy. In addition to the vase, there's also
you got this piece here, right?
a Castelli Majolica plaque in the collection. And it is a hand-painted ceramic plaque of an Italian landscape. You can see that the similar qualities are evident here in the use of vibrant colors with the greens, blues, and yellows, all hand-painted on a white background. It is also signed by the artist to the lower right and presented in a gilt frame.
Awesome. All right, I'm going to hand this off. And so there's some other home accent kind of decor in here that's very cool that would add character to really any home. We have a Reggie Jackson baseball signed, which would be great for any collector. There's a heron rooster with the classic fishnet. There's a fun and kind of small toy vintage tea set, which is real fun. And there is also a first edition Hemingway novel. So a bunch of cool little accents and more than that in the sale. So make sure you kind of check out the whole thing and let us know if there's anything you want to hear about. Meanwhile, Meredith, you got one more thing you want to talk about?
Yes, Palmer, I really wanted to tell you about these Chinese cloisonne ovoid vases. First of all, I love the color so much that I decided to wear it.
I see that.
You can see that they have a chrysanthemum and butterfly motif, and in Chinese culture, the chrysanthemum is a symbol of autumn, which is perfect for now, and the flower of the 9th moon. People even drank chrysanthemum wine on the 9th day of the 9th lunar month to prolong their lives.
It's a lot of nines.
That's right, during the Han Dynasty. It is a symbol of longevity because of its health-giving properties. Chinese culture regards the butterfly as a symbol of immortality as well, and conjugal bliss. And when paired together, it symbolizes beauty in old age, which we could all definitely use more of.
Exactly. Thank you. All right. Let us know if you have any questions. I see a couple things that are popping up on my screen, and we'll make sure we jump to those. In the meantime, I think Kara actually wants to jump on. Meredith, you going to help her there with this large painting? Thank you.
All right, Palmer. There was actually a question regarding this painting. It's titled After Rosa Bonheur. And someone just wanted clarification of what the term after means in this case. And it's referred that way because the work was first painted by a French artist named Rosa Bonheur in 1853. It was called The Horse Fair, as you can see why. And this one, it's a study of her work by another artist. And that's not unusual for artists to do as they're training, to copy and study iconic works from the past to help develop their skill and technique. It's a very common practice as you're studying to be an accomplished painter. We don't know, this was painted in the late 19th century, so it could have been a student of Rosa Bonheur's because she died in 1899.
So you mentioned it's iconic. Like, what's iconic about Bonheur's work?
Okay, yeah, so she was a woman artist, part of the French realism movement in the 19th century. And the fact that she was successful as a woman artist who broke boundaries, you know, in a man's world, it was pretty incredible. And she especially became famous after exhibiting her painting of this subject at the 1853 Salon in Paris, which was quite an honor.
So was Bonheur's painting the same size as this one?
Oh, no, absolutely not. So hers was actually life-size. The horses, everything was life-size. And you can imagine that was a very difficult thing to do. In order to do that, she had to make numerous trips to the horse markets. And that was something that women rarely attended. So in order to sort of disguise herself and not call attention to herself as a woman, she would wear pants to these occasions so she could really get up and study.
Yeah, I love the detail and depth. So, I mean, women at this time, they didn't typically paint?
Right, that's correct. Well, they painted,
but not like this.
Not these subjects. Because women were more restricted to the home, they typically painted more domestic subjects like still lifes, things that they could do comfortably in the home. So this painting in particular really exemplified that women wanted and could paint a variety of subjects, which is part of the reason it's so significant in art history.
Okay, very interesting and very cool. Do we have any questions coming in? Any last minute things that we wanted to do? Otherwise, we're going to get close. Oh, it looks like we have, somebody wanted to talk about these bookcases real quick, so we'll pull this off.
Yeah,
Meredith can help me. I think what's happening here is these are some of the most. This is one of the most followed pieces, and somebody's wanting to mention this. This is actually a globe warranty case. These are very popular, and it currently at 8 bids and $291. It's an early 20th century piece and a good representation of the kind of cabinetry that they made. So that one is up on the high followed list. What else do we got? Anything else, guys, that we were going to focus on? I think there's another, the coral ring. Jen, were you going to bring out the coral ring and talk about that a little bit?
Sure, I can bring out the coral ring. Actually, it's a coral ring. It's done in 18 karat yellow gold, as you can see, with the coral done in a cabochon type of polished stone at the center. And what's unusual about it is that it's got this asymmetric design where it's just got the little swish of diamonds on,
nice.
on one side. So anyway, it's a very, very pretty ring.
Cool.
I can see why it's closely followed. It's unusual and very nice. Again, in 18 karat gold.
And there's 11 bids on that, and it's at $30 right now. And again, 6 days left in this sales, guys. This closes on Sunday the 20th at 8 p.m.
Great.
Thank you.
Thanks.
All right. Any last minute ones popping in? Okay. Oh, well, what a great collection. I just love kind of how it meanders between traditional and some of the more modern touches that came through in the jewelry, in those Toledo chairs and some of the other pieces. So this is going to be a special week this week between this sale, and we actually have our quarterly landmark collection is now live. The autumn landmark is really full of meticulously sourced and expertly curated pieces that will stand out in any collection. There's some incredible jewelry in there, museum quality art that's in there, a few vehicles that are pretty impressive, and some other just fantastic stuff. So make sure you check out that sale while you're on EBTH tonight. And then we're going to actually come back here on Thursday night and share some of those pieces with you and talk a little bit more, just like we did tonight. And you guys aren't going to want to miss that one because, like I said, there's some pretty standout pieces in that. So then on Sunday the 20th, we're going to come back again, and we're going to help guide you through the ending of the Leung-Weinstein Estate as well as that landmark collection. It's going to be a lot of fun watching the auction action happen that night, and we look forward to having you guys join us there. So remember, on Sunday nights, that's your chance to be featured on our upcoming TV series. You're just going to turn on your video capture feature in that upper right corner on live.ebth.com, and then that's where the producers are going to find a ton of footage of the bidding action, so they can sift through that and find people to feature on on Adam and Mariana's episode. So that's Sunday night. Make sure you put that in. We'll be at 7:55. So until then, keep living the uncommon life, and happy bidding.